everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's your favorite girl Favor. So if this is your first time of coming across my YouTube channel, thank you so much for being here. On this YouTube channel, we learn how to turn void materials into a beautiful piece. So please do well to click on the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so that you'll be the first person to be notified whenever I post a new video. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for your love and support. So for today, we're going to be learning the second part of this bustier corporate dress with a folded collar and a stylish sleeve. On our previous video, we learned the pattern drafting. So today we're going to be doing the sewing part. So if this is something that you're interested in, without wasting much of your time, let's head to the tutorial proper. On our previous tutorial, we learned the pattern drafting of this corporate dress we're trying to cut. And before we head to the tutorial, I would love to apologize to my family, my YouTube family here, for taking this long to upload this video, because I have been really busy with a whole lot of things and all of that. So this is the front pattern and then this is the back pattern. Okay, now you can see on our previous video, you need to see the tutorial if you haven't seen it, for you to understand why you are seeing a 2 dots on this front slit, and then how I ended up adding an allowance. I ended up adding an allowance to this. All right, and then this is the front pattern. Like I said, the 2 dots, you need to see the video to understand why it's there. And then for the back pattern, we went ahead to learn. We also did both contouring for this this particular one. Okay, so I'm going to keep this aside now, and then we'll go straight to the joining proper. So I'm going to go ahead now and separate the pattern paper from the main fabric. So after separating this, now we'll go straight to the joining of these pieces. Now I'm separating all of these at the same time because I'm able to identify the front and the back, though it's easy for you to identify the front and the back because of the slits at the front. Okay, so if you cannot identify, I'd advise you separate them one after the other when you're ready to join. So after separating this, now the next thing we're going to do is to pick one side of the bustier. Okay, so just pay attention to what I'm doing here. We'll pick one of this side, the one that has C curve. You can see the way it is. This is what it's meant to look like. Okay, now you pick it up and then you pick the front and the front. Now the chalk separates the back, the wrong side of the fabric. Okay, now you go ahead and turn it over. You can see the way I flip it. Let me go ahead and then place this. Let me turn this so that you see what I'm doing here. Now you start your stitches from this down part. You see where I placed here. Now this place I'm pinning down is where we are going to be sewing on. Okay, so you have to just try as much as possible to make sure that you place this in a way that the C curve, you get your breast points and all of that. But you see the way I'm placing it, please go ahead. This is how you're meant to sew on this. Okay, just pay attention to where I am pinning down and you're good to go. Okay, so after pinning this down, okay guys, this is what you are meant to see. This is what it's meant to look like. Now if you're going to be attaching a wadding or a breast pad, whichever one you call yours, you can attach it, but like I said, I'm not going to be using an interfacing for this and all of that. So you're meant to sew where I join my pin. Now we'll do the same thing for the other parts. Do not forget to start stitching from your waistline, that is from the down part. Place the front side facing front like so, you can see, and then you sew in a way your C curve, you can see the way I'm placing it like so. This is how we're meant to sew on it. So I'm going to sew this and then I'll bring it back. Okay guys, so I have gone ahead now to sew this. You can see what it looks like, and then you can see this is what it looks like. I used 1/2 inch to sew this part. All right, and then this is what it looks like. Now your boobs can easily sit here even if you're not wearing a bra, or if you, whichever one, however you decide to rock your clothes. Okay, so guys, now this is the back pattern. The same thing we did for the front is the same thing we're going to do for the back pattern. Now I'm going to quickly explain something on this back pattern. On the channel, somebody posted that when I was drafting, why is it that my front pattern is this. I did not minus anything from the back pattern. Now this is the reason. Now you can see that here is flat. There's no like C curve on this part. You can see this is flat, unlike the front one. You can see, just pay attention, unlike this front one where there's already a place for your boobs to sit on. Okay, now this place alone has made this possible for the front part to be higher than the back part with 2 inches. I hope you understand. That C curve has made this the back part shorter than the front part. Okay, so we'll go ahead now and join the front part, the back piece, the way we did for the front pattern. Okay, now this is how we're going to join it. You can see the way I'm doing it. Always start from this waistline, that is this down part. Always start here, and then you join like so. Just pay attention. You see where I'm going to pin around the same way we pinned for the front part. We'll go ahead and pin all this around. Just pin around the way you see me doing it, like so. You can see what I'm doing here. So after pinning this around like so, we'll go ahead and join it together. Okay, so when you finish pinning this, now this is what you're meant to see after joining it. So I will go ahead now and join this, and then I'll bring it back for us to see. So guys, I've gone ahead now to join the back pieces. Now this is what the back princess dart looks like. You can see what it looks like. This is a back princess dart. Okay, you can see how beautiful it is. Please always iron. Do not forget to always iron whenever you're sewing. And then this is the middle you're seeing that is open here. This middle is where our zipper is going to sit. That middle is just to avoid any bulginess at the back. Now we'll go ahead and close this this middle with 1 inch for the zipper. But before that, you can see the back, the front part, I already ironed it out. So the next thing we're going to do right now is to join the shoulders together. So we'll go ahead now and pin this down. Okay, you see the way I'm pinning the shoulders down. This is where you're meant to join your shoulder. Now there's no interfacing for this. Okay, so this is how you're going to be joining your shoulders down. I always love to give you few details of how to sew this. So when you join your shoulders, that is what you're meant to see. You go ahead and just close this up by 1/2 inch here, and you also go ahead and close this other side by 1/2 inch. All right, so we'll keep this aside now and go straight to the down part. Now the same thing we did for the front part, we'll go ahead and separate the front, the paper from the main fabric. Now this is the back pattern, the zipper where our butt contouring is going to be sitting, and also the zipper allowance. Like I said, you need to see the tutorial for you to understand what we did here. Okay, so we'll separate this one, the front and the back, so that we won't mix them up like so with our chalk. After doing this, now we'll take the back pattern and close this up by 1 inch. Okay, use 1 inch to close this up. Now it's an open slit we're doing, but before that, you go ahead and hem this like so. If you're not using an interfacing, you just fold these edges where it's going to be visible. Just give this a little nudge so that it's going to balance properly. You fold here, this other edge, fold it first time, and then the second time you do the same thing. Let me go ahead and flip this over for you to see properly. You do the same thing here. You can see after doing that, the down part here too, you also fold this in in 2 times, to fold it in 2 times like so. You can see the way I'm folding this. Now we'll do the same thing for the back pattern. I'll do the same thing for the front piece as well, and then I will go ahead and close this up here by 1 inch where it's going to be serving as our zipper, and also where our butt contouring is going to sit. Now you sew and stop where this particular place stop. So guys, I've gone ahead now to join this. This is the back pattern. I also hemmed this. You can see how neat it is, and I also hemmed this other side that is visible. Okay, and then I also closed it with 1 inch that is going to be serving as our zipper allowance. I see where I stopped. Now you just serge here so that it's going to not to avoid it losing. Okay, so this is our zipper allowance. Now we're going to go ahead and pick our front piece, the upper part, that is from our waistline to the shoulder, where we already joined the shoulder here. So we'll go ahead now and then pin them together. That is the joining of the front piece, the upper part and the lower part together. Okay, so please just pay attention to how we're going to pin this. So you just go ahead and then pick the front part. You can see this is the upper back pattern, and then you pick the back part as well. Okay, and then you join this together. You can see what it looks like. So I'll go ahead now and pin this down for us to understand where we are meant to join together. Okay, so this is where we're going to, where you see me pin is where we are going to be joining together. Just sew it by 1/2 inch, close the front pattern up, do the same thing for the back, the same thing you did for this, you do for this place, the same thing you're going to do for the front pattern as well. So after pinning this around, I'll go ahead and join. I'll bring it back for us to see what it looks like. Okay, so guys, I've gone ahead and joined the front and the back pattern. That is the upper part and the lower part of those clothes, and this is what it looks like. You can see there's no dart at this damp part. This is because I don't want a visible dart on the damp part. Okay, now if you take a look at the picture we're trying to recreate, you see that there's no visible dart on that damp part. Okay, so this is what it looks like, and then this is the back pattern. I also went ahead to close here with 1 inch that is going to be 7 as our zipper allowance. All right, so this is what this basically looks like. So the next thing we're going to do right now is to go ahead and open this up and then take a round circumference of our neck. So we're going to go ahead now and get our lapel. Okay, now I'm going to turn this over for you to see this, this looks like. You can see what it looks like. So we'll go ahead now and take the round circumference of the neck. Now we're going to be starting from our zipper allowance. We just take the round neck, start from this back here. So we'll go ahead and open this up and then take the round circumference of the neck like so. So after taking the round circumference, this gave me 31 inches. Okay, gave me 31 inches like so. Now this is the 31 inches. Now let me quickly explain something again. Now if you look at this front part, this front piece like so, you will see that this other side is shorter than the other side of this one. I hope you understand. Now look at here where the curve, where this curve started from. Okay, from this shoulder, you will see that this other side where my tape is shorter than the other side where my other hand is. Here is longer. Okay, now and then we're going to be attaching this from the zipper allowance. Now after getting this part, we're going to divide it by 2. We're going to divide that collar by 2. Okay, now this shorter part, I will take the measurements of them separately, starting from my shoulders to where that curve stopped. Now the other shorter part gave me 13 inches, while the other one gave 17 inches. So keep that aside. Now I'm also gonna head to cut out our sleeve. Now I'm going to be leaving a detailed tutorial on how to get your sleeve on the description box below, so please do well to check that out. I don't want this video to be longer than how it is right now. That is why I went ahead to cut out the sleeve. I'll be leaving that. Now the sleeve length we are working with is 16 inches. I went ahead to cut 16 inches. All right, and then I added 1 inch allowance for the folding. Okay, because we'll go ahead and fold up the sleeve. Okay, so I'll keep the sleeve aside now, and then I'll keep this aside, and then we'll go ahead and cut our collar. Now I'm going to be using the front part of my the lower part to cut our collar. So I'm going to go ahead and fold our collar into 2 like so. Now I'm going to quickly explain. I cut 6 inches on the collar, the length, the wideness of the collar 6 inches, but when I was joining it, I discovered that it was too wide. Then I had to reduce it to 4 inches. Okay, so this is me cutting the collar. Now I fast forwarded this part. I'm just going to explain what I did here. It's just a normal straight collar. You mark your collar and then you cut this out. Okay, like I said I used 6 inches, but that was too much. I will go ahead and use that same straight paper that we cut to place on my fabric. this is me arranging the fabric. So after we arrange this fabric properly, we'll place this. Remember, we're cutting into 2 because we are going to divide the collar into 2. I hope you understand. Now in total we're going to be cutting 31 inches, but because of this pattern paper is not enough, we'll go ahead and add the excess to the main fabric. Now after cutting out the fabric, remember my fabric is on fold. Okay, this fabric is on fold. After cutting it like so, we just come down here where we have opening and just give it a slanted curve. You can see the way I curved it. Now it's just 2.5 inch. You come in by 2.5 inches and then you give it a nice curve. You can see the way I'm curving it down here. Okay, that is all basically. So when you're sewing, remember I'm going to go ahead and I will still divide this into 2. Okay, I will divide it into 2 because I need it to be longer for me to be able to get a 13 inches and 17 inches. Now the next one we're going to go ahead and cut is the pieces. We'll go ahead and cut out the extra pieces that we are going to be attaching on the sleeve. Remember, the sleeve have a bow tie with a stripes. So this is the stripe that is going to be on the bow tie. Now this is me cutting out the bow tie. The bow tie, the normal bow tie, just cut a square shape. Okay, you can either cut 5 inches, you can cut 4 inches. This is just a square shape. Now we're going to use these pieces to cut on another fabric to give us 2 sleeves, both for both sleeves. Okay, now the 2 pieces we're going to still sew on it to just give it a stitch and then open a little place where we are going to use to turn it over in. Okay, now this is for the two sleeve. Okay, we just sew and then sew the other one. I'll also go ahead and fold this one and sew it, and then I will bring it back for us to see. So guys, I've gone ahead to cut it. This is our collar. You can see what our collar looks like. Now after sewing the inner, I sewed it in here and then I just turned it over and then used it to cut it in. So where you're seeing that white thread is where we're going to be attaching on our neck, and then this is the stripes, the 4 stripes that is going to be on our bow tie. Okay, now I just cut the inches I use for my bow for these stripes is 5 inches that I use for it. Okay, now this is our bow tie. Now this is where I turned in from. You can see the hole, just for you to just close it here and then just sew here. That is all for the bow tie. All right, now for the bow tie, you can see this is for the second one. Okay, now I'm going to just demonstrate for you how to achieve your bow tie. Now this is a bow tie. You either just pick it from the middle, just find the middle of your bow tie. You can see what I'm doing here, then just close it up like so. You can use your needle to sew this, or you can use your another pieces to just close it up, but I'm not going to be using the pieces. I'm going to go ahead and sew this now. You can see the bow tie, and then I will attach the other part. So guys, we'll go ahead now and attach our collar to the neck. Okay, now this is the collar. We're going to be doing it in out, from inside out. What I mean by inside out, you can see you're going to be attaching it from the wrong part of the fabric. Okay, you're going to be placing it on the wrong part of the fabric. Don't worry, you're going to understand what I'm saying by the time we finish joining. Remember, you're going to be joining from your sleeve, from your where you have your zipper allowance down to the front neck here where this stopped. So I will take this to the sewing machine. I will attach this. Please do not forget inside out. By the time you attach it, this is the inside out. This is what it's meant to look like. So guys, I've gone ahead now to attach our collar and also attach our zipper to the cloth. Now this is what our collar looks like. Okay, now this is where it stops. My collar almost got burnt here, so when I was trying to iron it. Now this is what I meant by inside out. You can see attaching it from the inside of the fabric, so that by the time we close it up and then iron it, this is going to just cover it up like so. You can see what this looks like. Okay, and then for you to just hold it down, and then I use the zipper to hold it down at the back. I've not closed that place because my my tabletop could not sew that side. I'm going to go ahead. After this, I will just use my industrial machine to close that part, the back part down. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do now is to go ahead and attach our sleeve. You can see what this looks like, and then this is our bow tie. I've gone ahead to attach the bow tie. This is what I meant when I said I do not want to use any extra fabric to close the down part up. See here, I use my needle to just hold it down, and then I attach the stripes before sewing the bow tie, closing it up. Okay, now if you want it to look more classy or more beautiful, I don't want it that's on this bow tie, so this is how you just close it up with extra fabric if you don't like it like this. Okay, so I'll go ahead and attach this on our sleeve. Now this is our sleeve. We're going to divide our sleeve into, just fold it into two like so, and then get the middle of our sleeve. After placing it like so, we'll go ahead and get the middle of our sleeve. Now just give it a notch at the middle, just to be able for us to identify the center of our sleeve. Now we'll go ahead and use our bow tie to place at the center like so. But before that, please go ahead to fold these edges, the edge of your sleeve, okay, if you are not using an interface. After folding that up, you now take your bow tie and attach it at the middle. You can see where this middle is. You can see where it is like so. Let me turn this over. Now this is the center. You attach your bow tie and then you close up your sleeve like so. By the time you close up your sleeve, your bow tie is going to be at the middle. I hope you understand. Okay, so guys, I will take this now to the sewing machine. I will attach our bow tie. Please do not forget to fold the edges of your sleeve. I will attach the bow tie. Do the same thing for this one, and I will attach our bow tie to the sleeve, and as well close we're going to go ahead and close this by 1 inch, just closing the final stitch of closing this after attaching our sleeve like so. After attaching the sleeve, we'll go ahead and close it. Okay, so I'll go and close this now, and then I'll bring it back for us to see what it looks like. Okay, do not forget to attach your bow tie before sewing your sleeve. Okay, so guys, this is what the outcome looks like. I've gone ahead to also attach our sleeve and then attach the bow tie. This is what the bow tie looks like on the sleeve. This is what it looks like. I use my needle to hold it down, and then did the same thing for this other side, and then I also attached our zipper and the other part, and I went ahead to close this up. Now this is what the back princess dart looks like, and then you can see there's no visible dart at the down part of this cloth. Okay, so guys, that's all for the cutting of this the cutting and the sewing of this corporate bustier dress. Please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up. You can see what it looks like. Your princess bustier can also work without you putting your wording or any. So guys, do not forget to click on the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell, and please do not forget to go green. Do not litter your pieces, keep your pieces, recycle your pieces, and see you on my next video.